So these three vehicles have very little in common besides the usual suspects: four wheels, four tires, windows, and so on. Here on my right, we have the three-row midsize family SUV in the redesigned 2020 Ford Explorer. This one has more passenger space, more cargo, and now they're going back to a rear-wheel drive layout. Here in the middle, we have the all-new flagship midsize sedan from Volkswagen. This is the Arteon, a vehicle that now competes with the Mazda 6, Kia Stinger. And here on my far left, we have the redesigned luxury subcompact SUV in the Audi Q3, which is the same as you'll find in the 2020, so no differences. So basically we have three 2020s right here. Today, we're going to do a quick overview on all three. The Ford Explorer is a three-row mid-size family SUV with seating for 6 or 7, depends on if you have captain's chairs or not. And we have captain's chairs, so you're looking at a 6-seat configuration. So now this comes in 5 trim levels: Base, XLT, Limited, ST, and Platinum. As a mid-size sedan, the all-new Arteon has some stiff competition in its category, namely the Mazda 6, Acura TLX, Volvo S60, Nissan Maxima, and Kia Stinger. I know there are more, but that's just a few. This comes in 3 trim levels: the SE, SEL, and SEL Premium. We have the SEL R-Line with 4Motion all-wheel drive. That available R-Line package adds a large helping of style and swagger inside and out of this car that already has plenty of both. Now, one thing I really like about the design is its muscular frame and shoulders, wide stance, and even the Arteon's clamshell hood. The Audi Q3 is a luxury subcompact SUV with seating for just 5. This comes in 3 trim levels: Premium, Premium Plus, and Prestige S-Line. And we have the S-Line, and this is the Quattro versus the front-wheel drive, so we have the all-wheel drive in this vehicle. Powertrain options are pretty exciting this year for the Explorer. We've got 3 options: a 2.3-liter EcoBoost inline 4-cylinder, now 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. It can now also tow 5,300 pounds. There is the option of a turbocharged 3-liter V6. That's 365 horses, 380 pound-feet of torque, and can tow 5,600 pounds. And then our bad boy right here, and boy does it go fast. I love the way this one drives. It's a 3-liter V6, 400 horsepower in the ST, 415 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is represented in those numbers: only 18 city, 24 highway, for a mixed driving number of 20 in the ST. Under the hood of the Volkswagen comes a standard 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged direct injection 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out, listen to this, 268 horses, 258 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive is standard. We have the optional 4Motion all-wheel drive. Fuel economy in the front-wheel drive, not bad. 22 city, 31 highway. For ours, you're looking at 20 city, 27 highway. The Q3 is no slouch when it comes to its powertrain: 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder. The numbers for horsepower and torque are up compared to 2018, so what you see here in 2019, you'll see in 2020 because there's no change. 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 city, 27 highway. Let's go ahead and start up the Explorer. Beautiful screen here in the center, lots of good graphics. Now this might be a little controversial for some people because we have a vertical 10.1-inch touchscreen as opposed to maybe something horizontal. So it looks like a tablet or iPad up on its end. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for 2020. Climate controls down below, just to give you a look at how it lays out. Dial for our 10-speed automatic. Automatic park brake. You got the auto on and off. Drive mode options here. First off, we have deep snow and sand. We've got trail options. Slippery. Normal. Eco. And sport. And some good color associations with all those different drive modes. Really comfortable seats here for the ST trim level. Nice bolstering in the seats. And a comfortable position for me as the driver. Here is where Ford puts their wireless charging pad for compatible phones. Kind of an interesting location, don't you think? And just below here is where you find their USB ports. Pretty impressive cockpit cabin of this Arteon. Graphics are really nice. They have an 8-inch touchscreen, which is standard. They're still sticking with an analog clock on top. Check it out. You can look here and look at these. There's a sport timer. So if you wanted, I guess, do some laps, maybe, I mean, I would go 0 to 60 if I could, but considering the weather, not going to happen, unfortunately, even with all the power this vehicle has. So there's that. Energy consumers, showing you what is consuming in the vehicle. Like right now, climate control is on. This is really neat to look at this stuff. Driving data, radio. These are cool with the graphics for the radio dial. It's also navigation, obviously. Climate controls here, heated seat. There is a drive mode. I'm gonna press this mode button here and check out the screen. You've got a custom eco with a color scheme associated with it. Comfort. I've been driving in normal. There's no point to drive in sport under these conditions, but there's some things that I can play with there. The auto start stop, so you can make the car stop at an intersection and save on fuel. A USB port here, I noticed, and there's also one inside here. No wireless charging pad. I was surprised that there wasn't one there. Instrument cluster is beautiful. Here, you can change some views of what you want to see and arrow down and so on. Cruise control, they got an adaptive cruise control. There's a volume for the radio. Inside the door panel is a trunk release, in addition to the one that's on the key fob. Soft touch material on the dash. I wish there was a heads-up display, but there isn't. Even though, hey Hershey, what's going on? There's no heads-up display. A couple things missing. There's no USB ports in the back. Push button start, like you see in most vehicles in 2020, 2019. I really like this 10.1 inch touchscreen, nice widescreen integrated here into the dash, nothing protruding. And then we have a beautiful instrument cluster. This is a 12.3 inch, nice wide, configurable instrument cluster. So I can make these different, just like that. There's also 3 different view options that you can do by playing with some of the settings. And these settings are pretty intuitive. They've got really beautiful graphics here to tell you about the car, news and weather. So if you want to look at the vehicle, Audi Drive Select, so there's different drive modes, which also can be selected down here. Drive Select is the same as this here. So there's 5 drive modes here. Media navigation, shortcuts, and so on. And really nice with the climate controls and those options there with the crawl control. Steering wheel mounted controls. A little getting used to here. The volume is actually on the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side. This will change what you see in the center, so I can change that view by changing maps, for example. Different spots. There's the radio, scrolling through audio channels. That's kind of nice. Look how beautiful that is. Almost, it's better than that one right there. I do like the color scheme they have with the Q3, and the wood trim in here flows nicely together. Audi has a wireless charging pad just below your infotainment screen, along with a USB port here and a USB-C port right there. Very similar to what you'll see in the Explorer, except that these are all together versus the separation between the wireless charging pad and your USB ports. Let's do a comparison with the backup cameras, because I'd like to get your opinion on which one you like better. But pop it in reverse here in the Explorer. So, oh, there's my dog. My dog Hershey is in the back. So there's no alarm though going off. You can see the car next to me. So we've got the 360 view here and the straight up backup camera. Now if I turn the steering wheel, the lines do move with the steering wheel. And then it says here, because the car is next to me, because the Audi's next to me, you can see there's a warning lights around. Now I'll just press that button here for just the backup directly behind me. And this is a view of, looks like the back in 3 different quadrants, or 3 different sections there. Go back to the surround view, so all the way around there, and then straight up behind me. Let's go ahead and do a backup camera demo inside the Volkswagen Arteon. Pop it in reverse. What I like about this immediately is the colorful lane lines which turn with the steering wheel, and of course that red line gives you an indicator of how close you are, and it'll go off right before you hit something. But if you are backing into a parking spot, these lines will guide you into that. Other than that, there's nothing else. I was doing a video demo at the grocery store and people were walking into the zone and there were no alarms going off, which really surprised me compared to other vehicles that have that some kind of sensor or arrows indicating where the danger or obstruction is coming from. But I don't see that here with this vehicle. Nothing went off when I was in the parking lot. All right, now a comparison with the backup camera here in the Q3. Now this one's got a nice wide screen here and no surround view cameras around the car, but it does show you the car. And this blue section is where the car will be backing up, and the lines do move just like the Explorer does. And it does give you warnings. And there is a cross traffic alert system with this one that I've tested before, and there'll be arrows that show you where the danger or the pedestrian or car is coming from on both angles. It's kind of cool. So anyways, that's what that looks like. You can turn the sound on or off with that one. And then there's this camera where it just takes off the main camera and bring it back on, and then you're just left with the, I don't know, the drawing or the look of the car with the outline. And then these little lines here will show you where the danger is. So right now it's recognizing that the Ford is right next to us, and that's why you see that white line illuminated. Look how wide open the door is and how spacious the entry is into the middle row. This is super comfortable. Barely any inconvenience to get inside, and look how much room I have between my knees and the back of the seat, and this is my position as a driver. The captain's chairs give you a lot more room in here. Obviously, you're not bumping shoulder to shoulder. Very spacious. Here's a closer look at my legroom behind the back seat, so you can get a better look at that with a storage compartment behind there for maps, maybe an iPad, tablet, and so on, and some connectivity back here and climate controls. And here's what it looks like in the center without that other seat. So you got a spot for cup holders and extra storage. I have the entire panoramic sunroof revealed. So now here's my headroom, which is not a problem whatsoever with that. And it creates a lot more openness inside the cabin altogether. It looks like a huge vehicle. Looks more full size than mid-size. And there, of course, is your back seat. And let's be honest, that's going to be for kids, for car seats, fold them down for storage. Not the best place for adults, generally speaking. This is really impressive. Mid-size sedan, kicking the snow off. Look at that space. Look at that space between my knees and the back of the seat. So much room. This cabin is huge in here. We also have the sunroof, which makes it a little bit bigger, even though it doesn't come all the way back. Headroom, even with the sloping sport back, it's not that bad. I mean, you might think so just from the outside, but it's pretty good. Now, don't get too excited, but also don't get too disappointed when you see my position in the back seat. This is my driver's position, and here's what I look like. Again, I'm 5'11", and here's how I sit in the back of this subcompact. A little bit of room, but Audi gives you some indent in the back seat, plus a netting here for your maps or tablets. So it's okay considering my size. And remember, because the vehicle is longer, wider, and taller than last year, some of that space was allowed here in the middle row for more passenger space. And that's exactly what you see here, especially for me behind the driver's seat. And just like the Explorer, we too have a panoramic sunroof, moonroof in the Q3. Obviously not as large as the midsize has to offer, but still nice. So take a look at my headroom. We do have an indent here in the roofline because I need some more room because the panoramic sunroof does not go back all the way behind my head, but they've made enough room here for taller passengers in the back. And unlike the Explorer, we have 2 USB ports in the back of the Q3 as opposed to 1, but no climate control options like the Explorer does. Check this out. We have the hands-free liftgate. So boom, like this, opens up. Oh, I love when a plan comes together. So this has 18.2 cubic feet of volume behind the back row. There's actually some storage right here as well. So if you want to put something out of view of the public walking by, you can do that. Now over here on the right hand side, you can fold down just one of the chairs, like the right side or left side, or both at the same time, which I'll do here. There we go. One button and it goes down. And that increases it to 47.9 cubic feet of volume. And then you fold down the middle row, you'll get 87.8. With the hatchback and fastback styling of the Arteon, it really does allow for a phenomenal amount of cargo space. So we'll open up here in a second. There are actually 4 ways you can open up the lift here. There's a button in the door panel. There's a button here on the key fob. You can press that. That just unlocks it. A 3rd way, which we don't have optioned on our tester, is a hands-free kick. So you put your foot under here, it unlocks it. The 4th way is by pressing in the Volkswagen logo, boom, and lift it up. Now, one downside is it doesn't go up automatically when you unlock it, and there's no push button here for it to go down automatically when you're done. Now, here is the big positive: 27 cubic feet of cargo volume in the back. Really a wide opening, really easy to put in large items. I can imagine 4 to 6 bags of golf clubs back here stacked on top of each other. Groceries are not a problem. If you're going camping, duffel bags, sport equipment, that kind of thing. Even a pass-through in the center. We have a 60-40 fold-down back seat split, and there's a pass-through there behind the armrest. So if you have longer items like skis, maybe you go to the home improvement store and you need some 2x4s, 2x6s, you can put those right there. So really a good amount of space in the back of the Arteon. The only downside is that you have to physically close the hatch. Cargo space now in our subcompact SUV, looking at 23.7 cubic feet behind the back row, which is a 40-20-40 fold down split. I'll fold those down. And there you have 48 cubic feet of cargo volume. Somewhat comparable to its competition. It is lacking in overall cargo volume, but decent enough for the class. So the MSRP range of these vehicles, you're looking at the Ford Explorer between $33,000 and $58,000. The Q3 from Audi between $34,000 and $43,000, and the Volkswagen Arteon between $36,000 and $47,000. To find a more in-depth video review of all 3 of these vehicles, check out the links in the description below. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching. Adios. One more thing before you go, I've added links in the description below to some of the best-selling automotive accessories and products on Amazon right now, plus links to some of the product reviews I've done. You can find it in the description below this video. And if you don't mind, take a couple of seconds and click that subscribe button. I'm uploading 2, 3, sometimes 4 new videos every week, and I don't want you to miss anything, plus it helps support my channel. As always, if you have any constructive criticism, thoughts, or suggestions about my video, please leave it in the comment section below.